Taking a closer look at that particular ruling, I am joined by Mr. Stephen Kalali, who is the person who filed the suit. Welcome to NTV Tonight.
Thank you, my dear.
Now we'll get right into it. The argument throughout this case has been that this is around the infringement on the rights of citizens to vote. Expound on that.
Well, the argument is basically enshrined under Article 59 of the Constitution of Uganda, which provides that every citizen who is above 18 years has a right to vote. So we realize that the Electoral Commission, as a body mandated to organize elections as well as effect registration of people into the voters register, has been excluding prisoners, that includes those on remand and the convicts, as well as Ugandans living in the diaspora who are of age from exercising their right to vote. So, as a person who believes in rule of law and constitutionalism, as well as the fact that Article 1, which is the supreme provision in our constitution, that power is derived from the people who choose who should govern them and in what way and for what duration. I had to move court and seek declarations to the effect that the continued acts of excluding these two categories of people or individuals from voting, it indeed violates their right to decide who should govern them, and more so without a justified reason for the disenfranchisement.
Now, taking a look at these two categories of people who are now able to actually vote, or according to the law will now be able to vote when the time comes, I look at this voting. What will inform their decision of which a candidate they can be able to vote, say if they're in prison? Okay. When it comes to campaigns, have you thought about that part and how that would work? Well,
that's an obligation that is still on the Electoral Commission. But as we can look at the roadmap they recently issued, they were focusing more on the electronic bit of it of campaigning. And most of these prisons, when I visited them in 2017, doing my interviews with most of the inmates, you realize that they do have TV sets. And even if they don't have, still they can avail them with radios and other gadgets that can enable these prisoners appreciate the manifestos of these candidates so that they can ably vote for whoever they deem is competent.
When you go to the issue of credibility in terms of vote rigging, have you thought about that aspect? And say if someone is in the diaspora and they're trying to cast their vote, how do we eliminate the vote rigging there?
Well, like other states, what they have been doing, most of their citizens who are abroad, they do vote from the respective commissions or embassies. So we can have our representatives from a candidate for say standing, I can have someone who is an agent at that particular embassy, and that's how best we can cater for this situation, whereby you have a full list of Ugandans, let's say in Boston, and if it's at the American embassy where these Ugandans are going to vote for, you have a full list, and then you can easily minimize on the rigging that could come up.
Okay. As we let you go, another thing is that going forward now, the Electoral Commission is also, we're waiting on what they'll have to say, but is there going forward a few things that you'd want the Electoral Commission to do in terms of these two people and accommodating them within the electoral process?
Yes, definitely there is. To the head of the Electoral Commission, who is Justice Byabakama, is one, since he's a judge, he should respect the court order and ensure that at least the register is updated for these people, because most of the inmates are already eligible voters who have their national IDs and all their documentations. So it's a matter of gazetting or allowing these prison wards to be polling centers to allow them participate, as well as the Ugandans abroad. It's a matter of getting in conjunction with the foreign ministry to get the particular numbers of these in the diaspora so that they can also cast their votes for their respective candidates.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Kalali, for joining us on NTV Tonight this
evening.
You're welcome. To take a look at our opinion poll, we asked you this evening what your thoughts are on this.